If we take a close look and examine the Skywalker saga, it's pretty safe to say that the sequel trilogy by Disney and Lucasfilm has really been a hit and miss scenario. With The Force Awakens, it really started things off and opened up the gateway to exactly what was possible for Episode 8 and 9 at the time. And obviously The Last Jedi upset many fans, with The Rise of Skywalker also attempting to fix some of Rian Johnson's mistakes in The Last Jedi, unsuccessfully. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, the one thing about The Rise of Skywalker that a lot of fans will agree on is that it probably is indeed better than that of The Last Jedi. At least in my experience, I really do believe that The Rise of Skywalker was superior to that of The Last Jedi. I don't know if you guys agree or disagree with me on that, but that's how I saw things with Episode 9. It was at least an improvement from what Rian Johnson did with The Last Jedi. Now, of course, that's not to say that The Rise of Skywalker was the best film of the Skywalker saga in any way, shape, or form. My top 3 Star Wars films are still Revenge of the Sith, of course, Empire Strikes Back, and of course, Return of the Jedi. However, what's really intriguing is, of course, all the changes that were made to The Rise of Skywalker throughout 2018 and 2019. For those of you who are out of the loop, Kathleen Kennedy initiated 2 different phases of reshoots, one in November to December of 2018 and one in the beginning of 2019, with extra shots being, of course, taken out and new ones being put in throughout the rest of the year of 2019. Now, with that being said, what's really intriguing all has to do with one of the original endings of The Rise of Skywalker by George Lucas and J.J. Abrams before it was actually cut by Kathleen Kennedy. Now, of course, The Rise of Skywalker was a film that went through many changes by Lucasfilm's Kathleen Kennedy, who initiated many of these reshoots and rewrites in both 2018 and 2019, like I say. Now, it's described that the cast and crew dealt with various ending scenes before they were cut from the film, as Kennedy was displeased with what was originally shown, of course, by J.J. Abrams and George Lucas. Now, it's described that one of the original endings of the film that were shot during the second phase of reshoots involved actor Hayden Christensen as Anakin Skywalker and Ian McDiarmid as Emperor Palpatine. The original scene was to take place on the world of Exegol, where in this cut of the film, it would involve Palpatine engaging in a lightsaber duel against both Rey and Kylo Ren, where Kylo was going to use his crossguard lightsaber against Sidious and his double-bladed lightsaber. So, let's just stop right here for a second, is that keep in mind that they were going to stay directly in line with the concept of a double-bladed lightsaber showing up in the very beginning of the Skywalker saga with Darth Maul, and then of course a double-bladed one showing up at the very end of The Rise of Skywalker with Palpatine having his. Of course, Kathleen Kennedy, after she deleted it, got that idea and placed it into the hands of Dark Rey. Moving on. Now, throughout the fight, it would all lead to a moment in which Kylo Ren is assumed to be dead, with him being unconscious after getting electrocuted by Force lightning and thrown into a wall. It's described that in this scene, the voice of Anakin Skywalker would reach out to Ben Solo, who has now fully turned to the light, where Anakin's Force Ghost would be seen behind Ben Solo, with his arm resting on his shoulder. This was the scene that was part of what George Lucas shot before it was completely scrapped by Kathleen Kennedy, where eventually Palpatine would witness Anakin Skywalker's Force Ghost, where Anakin would give Palpatine a smirk of some kind, as the two would reunite and face to face once again. Anakin would be seen creating some source of energy that would then be given to Ben Solo, which would absorb into his body, where Ben would be actually helped by his grandfather, his uncle Luke Skywalker, and his mother Leia, all standing behind him, guiding him through the ways of the Force to fight Palpatine and to defend the woman who he loves, Rey. Now, the scene originally progressed to a point in which the Force Ghost would be seen latching on to Ben Solo, where the arms of Anakin, Luke, and Leia are guiding Ben, where just as Palpatine would shoot a streak of Force lightning again, attempting to give Ben Solo the final blow to death, the Force Ghost of his family would then show up in front of Ben Solo, would deflect the lightning in front of Ben, and quickly vanish, as Ben Solo would now have a clear opportunity to take down Palpatine once more. Now, the two would engage in a one-on-one Force duel, where Ben would actually now deflect another streak of Force lightning by Palpatine, where Ben would then use the power of the netherworld of the Force, shooting the lightning back at Sidious, similar to the final cut of the film in which Rey does this, which is where Kathleen Kennedy got the idea from when Ben Solo does this to Palpatine. Now, that's the one interesting aspect here, is that Kennedy actually got a lot of the ideas for the final cut of the movie from these original cuts by JJ and George. The table would actually now be turned, where Ben Solo is dead and Rey crawls over to Ben Solo to bring him back to life, using her force healing technique, where the two in the final shot later in the film will be seen holding hands on Tatooine, gazing at the twin suns of Tatooine before the credits roll. So let me just say, I mean, this sounds like it's far superior than what we would have gotten at the final frames of the actual movie, and in comparison to what we actually got, it seems more in line with the family of the Skywalkers and what Star Wars really is. So anyways, guys, that about wraps it up for today. Let me know what you thought about all this below in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.